They say memory is like music. You never really forget a song. You just stop playing it for a while. For Ethan Cole, that song began again. On a quiet Thursday morning in late March, when an envelope appeared through his letterbox. Plain, white, and almost weightless. The kind of letter that doesn't carry bad news. But something older. It was from the Hollowbrook Community Center, where his mother used to teach piano before she passed away. They were closing down the building. Inside one of the old practice rooms, they'd found a box of cassette tapes, labeled in fading ink, "Thursday Nights with Dad." He almost threw the letter away. His father had left when he was 6, a memory Ethan had spent most of his life trying not to remember. But curiosity has a strange rhythm. That night, after closing his tattoo studio, Ethan sat on the floor of his flat, an old cassette player beside him, and pressed play. First, there was static, a faint crackle, the sound of air caught in time. Then, slowly, a piano began to play. Gentle, hesitant, as if the player wasn't sure anyone was listening. And then, a voice. A small boy's laugh. High, uneven, singing off-key along with the melody. He knew that voice. It was his own. And the man on the piano was his father. He froze. For a long time, he couldn't move. It was like opening a window into a house he'd already burned down. Each tape was the same. Laughter. Warmth. A man trying to teach his son to find rhythm. Even when the world felt offbeat. He used to hum before every song. A low nervous hum. As if testing the air before he played. Ethan smiled faintly. He did that too, every time he picked up his guitar. In the days that followed, Ethan began to listen differently. Not for the notes, but for the silence between them. The sighs. The pauses. The way his father's voice softened when the child missed a chord. He found himself wondering, was that love? Was that what it had sounded like? Before everything fell apart, he started visiting the empty community hall. It smelled of dust and rain and faint varnish. He sat on the old piano bench, the same one his mother used to sit on, and imagined them there. His father playing, his mother smiling from the door. But memory doesn't come back clean. It arrives like rain through a cracked roof. A drop here, a drop there, until you realize the whole room is wet. That night, he played another tape. At the end of the recording, he noticed something subtle. A pattern of 3 notes, repeated softly, almost hidden. It appeared at the end of every song. A quiet musical signature. His father's way of saying, "I was here." And that was when Ethan cried. Not the kind of tears that flood. Just quiet, tired ones. The kind that had been waiting for years. He began to write again. Songs, melodies, fragments of things he couldn't say out loud. He played his guitar late into the night, letting the old tunes blend with new ones. It was as if those tapes had taught him how to speak again. Not with words, but with sound. Then came an open mic night at a small pub downtown. He wasn't planning to play, but something in him, maybe the same part, that made his father hum before the keys, told him to try. When they called his name, he walked up, heart beating like a slow drum. He adjusted the mic, closed his eyes, and whispered, almost to himself, "Hey Dad, I found the tapes today." Then he began to play. A soft melody, familiar but new. His father's tune, woven with his own chords and words. A song about absence, and the sound that stays after. The audience went quiet. The kind of silence that doesn't ask for more, because it already understands. When he finished, he didn't bow or smile. He just sat there for a moment, letting the last note fade into something almost like peace. Later that night, back home, Ethan sat by the window, listening to the rain. The cassette tapes were still there, stacked neatly by his guitar. He thought about calling his father, about Ireland, about years lost in silence. But he didn't pick up the phone. Instead, he whispered into the quiet, "It's okay. I hear you." And for the first time in years, he meant it. He didn't need the tapes anymore. The music was already inside him, steady, quiet, and still playing every Thursday night.